Well, good morning out there in Friendship Village land. How are you today? This is Pepita Pepperoni. Pepita Pepperoni. I'm a cousin of a Phil Porter, the usual host here at this time. Now, I don't know where he is, but he said he had something very important to do, so he said if I would take over, that'd be great. So here I am. I'm sitting in his place. Phil Porter. No, it's Pepita Pepperoni. And my co-host again today is
Mary Craven.
Mary Craven, yes. So, how are you today, Mary?
I'm doing quite well today. It's a little cooler out today, but we take the weather as it comes.
As it comes, that's
Yes.
all right. That's the only way to do it here. And plus, we all know we live in Iowa, so it can change any day, right?
Any hour.
Any hour
of the day or
that's
night.
all right, yeah. So in case the audience might like to know that I have a little fine dining, a restaurant downtown. Yeah, it's called the Pepperoni's Restaurant. No, that's not right. That's not right. I just make that up just to have a little levity here in our session today. But it's going to be an important one because we have a very special guest today, Eula Martin. Hey, we'll get to her here in just a moment. Okay, but today's program is being brought to you by
The administration.
the administration. That's a good one, yeah. Now, these are people who kind of keep things running, but they mainly are in kind of the background. So we might see a nurse in the hallway or a maintenance man, but we don't always see very many people from administration because I don't know why.
They're busy.
They're busy. Thank you. Yes, Eula. They are busy. And we thank them for all the good things that they do, and they keep our lives here what would you say, productive and happy and contented. Huh? That's
Right.
how
They
it
take
is.
good care of us here, too.
They take good
They
care of
see
us.
to our needs, they see to our wishes and our wants, and we can call and leave messages on their phones. They're just a good working group of people that we really appreciate all the time and effort they put into running Friendship Village, and it is a big campus to run.
Yes. And it's getting bigger and bigger.
Yes.
With our new building next door. Oh, my. Did you know I'm going to move in there?
You're going to move in the next
in
door?
the new building
Oh.
of Pepita Pepperoni. I'm not sure what
very
room
good.
yet, but,
Excellent.
But I'm looking forward to it.
We'll come
yeah.
visit you.
Well, I hope you will. Yes. So, well, let's see.
Are you moving in alone, or do you have a lady friend?
I'm moving in alone.
Okay.
Yes. I have some lady friends, but I'm not living with a lady friend. I'm just living all by myself. Nobody, I think, could really live with me. Just me. You know what I mean? Okay. Hey, Mary, do you have a joke? Maybe we can have a couple of jokes or two.
Okay. Here's one.
Yes.
Whoever said money can't buy happiness didn't know where to shop.
Yes.
Best,
Go ahead.
the best thing about the future, it comes one day at a time.
One day at a time.
And one more.
One more. Yeah.
Men marry women with the hope they will never change. Women marry men with the hope they will change.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
Invariably, they're both disappointed.
That's a good one. Why, speaking of jokes, here's a couple of little ones. Why do the fish live in the salt water?
I don't know why.
Because pepper makes them sneeze.
Gosh.
Okay.
Okay, Phil.
Do you know what you a teacher and do you know what the word is always spelled wrong in the dictionary?
No.
Wrong. W-R-O-N-G. It's always spelled that way. It's wrong. Oh my.
Oh, dear.
We got a million of them, but we got to get on with more of our show here. So Eula Martin, we're going to turn to you. You are our interviewee this week.
Okay, interview me then.
Okay. So, do you come from Waterloo or someplace else?
I was born down in southwestern Iowa. Villisca, if you know.
I know Villisca. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's where my family came from. My parents moved up here when I was 5, and I have lived in Waterloo, Cedar Falls, and Independence since then.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So I feel like I belong to Waterloo, basically.
Yeah. Okay.
And I went to, Waterloo schools through 8th grade, and then that's when we moved to Cedar Falls. Went to Cedar Falls High School, graduated from the downtown high school, and went to ISTC for 2 years.
Iowa State Teachers College. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought I would be a teacher,
Mm-hmm.
but for some reason or other, I decided to get married after 2 years, and I never quite got back to college. So I've spent my professional life as a secretary. I became a CPS, Certified Professional Secretary, in 1970 through the National Secretaries Association.
Mm-hmm.
And I've worked in several different places, but primarily in law offices.
Oh.
And-
You must be smart then.
Whoops, not really.
Well, anybody who works with the lawyers, I think, they got to be smart.
Well, you have to learn a lot anyway, yes, for sure.
Okay.
And my longest law office experience was with Peter Burke, and he was an assistant county attorney all the time that I worked for him, and was the attorney for the Board of Supervisors. And he opened his own private office in 1976, and that's when I started working for him, and I worked for him for the next 37 years.
Whoa. Goodness
So-
sakes.
And along with Peter Burke, at different times, I helped out in Rick Miller's office. Rick was a
Sure.
resident here.
Yeah.
I would occasionally fill in for his secretary when she was on vacation or that type of thing.
I know you know this man Curley. He lives out here.
Yeah.
He was, I think he was a county attorney
Oh, really? That
at
would have
at
been
one point.
before Pete took over, probably, but
Wow.
I did not know Curly at that time. I knew of him
Yeah.
with all the
Yeah.
political things that he's done and service and everything, so.
Well, you had a very interesting life, and life goes on. It's still interesting, huh?
Absolutely, absolutely.
And how long have you been at Friendship Village?
I'm going into my 5th year now, and I have been in this part of the village since last April.
Almost a year.
Almost a year now over here.
Almost,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so that time goes fast. I came to Friendship Village. I kind of sneaked in because my son's mother-in-law, Donna Carr, lived here. And I thought, well, if it was good enough for her, it's probably good enough for me. So I had looked at a couple other places, but Donna was happy here, and the kids were happy here, had to have her here. So it seemed to me the logical place to come.
And did Life Care have an influence on your decision?
Absolutely, it did. I wanted to be someplace where my kids didn't have to worry about me now or from now on. That I would be taken care of either way. When my money runs out, why they'll
That's-
take care of me.
That's what my kids say. They want me to be in some place where they don't have to worry about it.
Right,
Yep.
right.
That's why I came also.
So I think that's the most important thing
Yes.
to think about.
It's quite a bit of the selling point for people to move here also. It's a big selling point.
Right. So I have not regretted moving here at all.
No.
I'm very happy here.
As we all have been, pretty
Yeah,
much.
Pretty much.
And I've run into some old, quote unquote, acquaintances coming here. One that comes on into my mind is Lydia Rewerts. She came to my house 60-ish years ago, give or take,
Wow.
and made rouladen for us.
That's something to eat?
That's a German
German.
rolled meat. You take a little piece of meat and roll it up. It has dill pickle, if I remember, and bacon, and a little onion, and roll it up and cooked, and then in a sauce. It's a German dish. My first husband and I were very active with foreign people, and
Okay.
had some German friends, and Lydia came over I didn't know her, but she knew one of the people that was coming to be our guest. And she came and cooked our dinner for us.
Well, how about the pizza pie? Did she
Oh.
serve you any pizza
No,
pie?
she didn't serve. We didn't do
Oh,
pizza at that time.
Okay.
But that was just kind of an interesting thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when I was here visiting, thinking about moving in, I had lunch one day, and the lady across the table from me kept looking at me, and I kept looking at her, and finally it dawned on me that it was Irma Kaldashaw.
Oh.
And many years ago, 40-ish or so, I had babysat Irma and Yeoman's malnourished dog when they traveled to Scandinavia, I believe it was. And so I took care of their dog.
Wow.
So little things like that, I hadn't seen him for years, and it with the white hair and all, why it took a while for us to decide whether we knew each other or not. Something looked familiar, but it was very interesting.
It's wonderful to run onto people from our past.
Yeah,
And then you pick up where maybe you're left off and go on from there. It's very, very gratifying to do that.
yeah, it is. There are several here that, and I'm sure that all the rest of you have had the same experience as far as that goes. But that was one of the interesting things that I ran across all of these people. So
And it's really not hard to get acquainted here either. You get involved with some of the activities. You eat your meals sometimes with people. You go to the music concerts. You belong to the chorus. You do many, many things and get acquainted with many people,
Right.
and you make new friends.
yeah, new friends as well as reconnecting with old friends. So chorus, village singers is one of the things that I enjoyed when I started. And
When's that going to start again?
that's what I'd like to know.
Ah,
if
me too.
or when that will
Me
be
too.
back.
Ah.
So that was very important.
I mean, we could sit apart, 6 feet. We could do that.
And sing with your mask on. No, that won't work.
No, I don't
No.
want to sing with the mask on, but we could sing or be spaced apart. Yeah. And I think this is me talking, personal.
Okay.
I think this COVID thing is going to finally die down, and they'll get everybody vaccinated that wants to be vaccinated, and we'll go back to a new form of normal. But I look for them to. I guess I'm hoping more than looking for, but
Yeah.
hoping that they will open up the singing group again. That was important for them to perform for different.
I like it to say that I see a light at the end of the tunnel. And,
Right.
Yes.
When we go to that light, maybe things will be almost back to normal.
Well,
Yeah.
We hope. That's what
We
we're
hope.
hoping for the future.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about your son. You have a very interesting son. So tell us about him.
Well, I'll back up a little bit. For whatever reason, the big disappointment in my life that I did not have any children of my own.
Okay.
But I raised a niece and nephew, and I consider them my children. And my second husband had 2 teenage daughters, so I have 2 stepdaughters. And then I have a Bolivian boy that I consider my second son. His Bolivian mother and I shared him. His dad and our best friend were cousins, and they came to visit my best friends and his family, and we got together with them. And my husband at that time invited Reuben to come back and go to school here for a year. Well, he came back and he went to school for a year and a half.
So like a high school you're talking?
High school. Right.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right.
He had already graduated in Bolivia, but their school system is different from ours.
Okay.
So he took 9th grade here, started in 9th grade. And then I sent him home with the understanding that if he wanted to come back, he was welcome to come back in a year. But I felt like he needed to go back and live in his own culture and with his family for a time, to be sure.
Yeah.
And he did come back, and he's been here ever since. And he is now retired from Hawkeye Tech. He was a teacher there, but he lives in Waverly. And he's the closest of my children that are around. One's in California, one's in Arkansas. My brother's in Kansas. So Reuben is my closest relative.
There you are.
And he takes care of me. He goes and gets my groceries if I need them, and he takes me out for lunch, and he just keeps track of me and helps me around the house. And
Does he have a family?
he has a son, or excuse me, he has a daughter, and she has a son. So he has one grandson.
Okay.
And
Oh, he's a
he's a grandpa.
grandfather.
Yeah. So
Okay.
he's
You could be a great grandma.
Yeah, that's right. A great grandma. Wow. Well, you're a great grandma. Gonna be a great grandma.
Gonna be a great grandma this
twice.
summer.
Didn't you say?
Times,
Two
yes.
times, yeah.
And I don't want to brag, but I have a 8 great grandchildren.
You have 8.
8.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, that's something to brag about.
It is.
Absolutely.
I didn't have a whole lot to do with it, but
Oh, you started it.
I started it. Yeah, that's true.
You had a whole lot to do with it. You started it.
Yeah, that's true. That's good. Hey, let's take a quick break here in our
Okay.
interview so that we can just remind our listeners that this episode of The Voice of Friendship Village is being brought to you by the administrative staff here at Friendship Village. People that we admire greatly, and we just want to, what do we want to do? We want to pat them on the back, I guess. Say,
We want to say
"Attaboy."
thank you.
Thank you, attaboy. You're doing a good job for all of us here at the Friendship Village. And we forgot to mention earlier on that the main one here is Elisa.
Right.
She's the main
The head
administrator.
honcho.
The head honcho, that's it. That's it. She's the head honcho. So she helps to just keep everything kind of going, huh?
Right.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
We appreciated all of her letters that she sent out during the quarantine and pandemic and all the things that were happening this past year. She kept us very well informed of everything that was going on and everything we needed to know and things we could and could not do. And she, I would say, kept us very, very safe. And we cannot say enough thank you to her for doing that. We maybe didn't always want to be quarantined, but I think we realized it was in our best interest to stay in our apartments, eat our meals in our apartments, and go out very, very little, and wear our masks, and when we did go someplace, use social distancing, and follow all the rules. And I think we did, and we were very fortunate that we had very little problem here with people getting sick.
Yes.
So I would say congratulations to her for a job well done. And her
Yes.
staff, I know she depended on her staff to help her with many of this too.
So thank you, Lisa, and all of your staff out there for the good job you do. Yes. And we also just want to remind our listeners that this is basically an interview kind of a situation. So if you would ever like to be on the program and be interviewed, maybe you have an important, whatever. We only have important people on our show, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, yes. So you out there, you're important, and we'd like to hear your story and have you share more about your life. So if you're at all interested, go to the desk, the front desk in your building, and let them know. Write a little note. Say, I want to be interviewed on the program, and we'll take it from there. Okay. So, hey, let's get back to our great interview with our one and only guest,
Yes.
What was my name?
Eula Martin.
There you go. And when you were talking about Lisa, that reminded me. We have a child care here. It takes a
Oh,
village.
Yeah.
And
Are you a grandmother?
Oh,
There?
yes.
Okay.
I go over there.
Yeah, you
And
too. Yeah.
before COVID, I was over there one time, and I held Lisa's grandson, and
Ah.
I fed him his first pumpkin pie filling. He was 8, 9 months old, something like that.
Yep.
Okay. And now that we're getting to go back, I was over there the last week, and I was behind him, and the kids were playing in mud, quote unquote, which was chocolate pudding. Susie does a good job over there. It's amazing. But they had covered the tables, and then they put chocolate pudding on the tables and set the kids up there and let them play in it.
Oh.
Like finger painting or
Great
whatever.
fun for them, yeah.
It was great fun
Sure.
for them, and I was behind Lisa's grandson, and when he got through, he had mud in his hair and all over his face and all up his arms and front of him. So I helped clean him up.
Mm-hmm.
So the kids really enjoyed that, playing in the mud business. So somebody
We look forward to going over there and seeing what they have for us to do every Wednesday morning. And I think the little kids are getting used to us coming and being there with them, listening to stories, doing their activities. They
Okay.
just have the biggest smiles on their faces. They wave to us all the time. Some of them like to sit on our laps. And we just really enjoy the small people.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and they are very well behaved. They've got a wonderful program for those kids. The kids are well behaved, and they each know where they're supposed to go. And it's sometimes kind of
I
hard.
think that would be a good sponsor for a future program. All the staff over at It Takes a Village.
Yeah.
Yes, we will do that.
Okay. Well, let's see, Eula, have you, if I were to say, have you learned any important lessons about life that you'd like to share today? Anything come to your mind?
Just enjoy your day absolutely every day. Be thankful for what you're doing, because we don't know how long we'll have it.
Okay.
So
All right.
keep a positive attitude.
Just kind of throw yourself into every day that you get here, right?
I get to play cards. I
Get
got
to
a call
play-
just before I came here. We're going to go play hand and foot tonight.
All right.
So that's one of the projects that I enjoy too.
Okay.
There are just many activities for people that really want to get out and do activities.
Right.
And if you choose not to, that's fine. If you enjoy staying in your apartment, watching TV,
You can be as busy as you want to be.
absolutely.
Hey, I said that the very same thing
Did you?
just a while back. Yeah, you can be as busy as you want to be here
Right.
in Friendship Village. Yeah, and
Absolutely.
if you like to stay in your room, you can stay in your room. Nobody's going to object, huh?
That's right.
Yeah.
Somebody may check on you if you don't
Well,
show
that's-
up every once in a while.
Well, that's good. That's good to know. Yeah.
Everybody keeps track of everybody else. And,
We keep track of each other.
yeah.
If we haven't heard from our friends in a day or so, we call them. If they don't answer, we try to find out where they are, what they're doing, and it's all in concern for each other.
Right.
We really look out for each other. We're one big family, as Phil has stated before.
Yeah. So. Well, let's see. I'm running out of questions for Eula. Can you think of anything, Mary? We're kind of running towards the end of our time.
Running out of time. Not only out of questions, but out of time.
Out of time. Well, let me share this, if I could. It's some thoughts about motherhood. You guys know about motherhood.
Yes.
Okay.
So, I think mothers have a unique way to teach their children about life and what's important in life. Here's an example. My mother taught me about the circle of life. She said one day, "I brought you into this world and I can take you out."
How true.
How true. My mother taught me about receiving. She said, "You are going to get it when you get home." Okay. My mother taught me this about humor. She said, "When that lawnmower runs over your toes and cuts them off, don't you come running to me." Oh dear, yeah. This was quite a mother, huh? My mother taught me about the time travel. She said, "If you don't straighten up, I'm going to knock you into the middle of next week."
I've heard that one before.
Okay, just one more. I got plenty, but just one more for a time. My mother taught me this about logic. She said to me, "If you fall out of that swing and break your neck, you're not going to go to the store with me today." Quite a mother, huh?
My mother always said, when we questioned something, and we said to her, "Why do we have to do this?" or "Why do we have to do that?" she said, "Because I said so."
Ah,
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
We
heard
could
that.
not go against that. Whatever she said, we had to do. And if we question it, it's because I said so.
That's right.
That was the final word, absolutely.
And I think I might have tried that on my own kids.
I know I did it on mine. Yeah.
When the kids were little and they wanted to I wanted them to take a nap. And they couldn't understand, why do they have to take a nap? They weren't tired. And I said, because I'm tired.
Oh, yeah.
It kind of goes the same way, because
When
I said
you
so.
take a nap, then I can rest.
That's
Yeah,
right,
that's
absolutely.
good. Yeah. Well, Mary, we're coming to our end here today in this session. I appreciate your willingness to let me, Pepita, come in today and take the place of Phil Porter.
Well, we've enjoyed having you, sir.
Well, thank
and
you.
I hope you get your eating place open downtown so we can go and partake
My
of
fine
your
dining
your
eating
fine dining,
place.
yes.
Yes.
Keep us informed.
I should think of a name for it first, maybe. Huh?
A good idea.
That'd be good. Okay, I will do that. So we're at the end, and again, thank you.
Whatever your name is.
Thank you, Eula.
Right.
Eula Martin. Eula. Thank you, Mary, co-host, and any parting words of anything that we might like it to hear.
Wine is a constant proof that God loves us and loves us to be happy.
That's right. He invented wine, didn't he? He wants us to have a merry heart. I
Right.
believe. Yes. Okay, well, we're signing off for now, and thank you, Friendship Village, for listening in today.